I don't let my team contact my sellers.
No. My team contact all my sellers. You've got to trust your team. Otherwise, you may as well just be doing it all yourself.
Buyers buy a property and then they never hear from the agent again.
I think a lot of agents will sell a property and then that list of 30 buyers just vanishes.
That's like the number one complaint. I got one call and then I said I wasn't interested, never heard from that agent again.
The market is changing. The buyers are not throwing themselves at us at the moment.
There's heaps of agents out there that think, what's the point? The buyers will just come when I list the next property. Like, I don't need to call them or whatever. Just focus on the potential sellers.
I think over the last sort of 5 years, you probably could have got away with that for a period, but I think it's going to change. The agents that are not working the buyers are going to start to struggle.
Welcome back to Get Keen. Ladies and gents, you're here because you want to become the best real estate agent you can be, or the best real estate business owner. And I've got a really special lady with me today, Mikaela Crone. She works for Place Estate Agents in Bulimba. And Mikaela has over 10 years experience selling real estate. In the last 12 months alone, she's been involved in over 80 real estate transactions. That's just in the last 12 months. And pretty high value too, an average price of 1.43 million. So she's a really high performer, right? And she's surrounded by some really great agents in her office as well. So she's come here today to give us some very valuable tips on how to be a high performing real estate agent. Let's hear it from Mikaela Crone.
Thank you for that
That's the crowd.
intro.
No worries.
Happy to be here.
The audience is going mad. You are really high performing.
Thank you.
And it takes a long time to get to that stage. You know, you haven't done that in 1 or 2 years, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Can you give us a 3-minute summary on your background in real estate?
Yes, I can. So I started in real estate straight from school. I was actually doing some work experience in grade 12 out in Sunnybank. Loved it. Loved that every day was different. But started my first proper job, fresh out of school as like a leasing agent for rental properties. And then after a year and a half of that, I joined a high-performing team at Place Bulimba as like an admin sales associate. And I stayed in that team for 8.5 years.
Oh, great. So you must have learnt a lot doing that.
I learnt heaps. I learnt all the different roles, obviously watched the high performer, list and sell, negotiate. And back then it was obviously pre-COVID. We were holding a lot of stock, so doing a lot of open homes. It would take probably on average 90 to 120 days to sell a property. Mm-hmm. So learnt a lot about vendor management as well, which is coming back into play now. And then just over 12 months ago, branched out and now I have my own team. So there's 5 of us, and we've just been going so well. So.
That's amazing. So all of those results that I've seen online, that's all within the last 12 months. Prior to that, you're on a team.
Yeah. So
wow.
The branch out was the last 12 months. I partnered up with Shannon Gordon. Mm-hmm. So we're just great mates, and I think in real estate it can be nice to bounce things off one another. Otherwise it can be quite lonely or stressful when it's just you responsible for everything. So I partnered up with her and we grew so much faster than what we anticipated.
Okay, cool. So you're partnered with her now as kind of co-agents each?
Yeah.
So you're both lead agents but you work as a team?
That's right. We're on everything together, the 2 of us.
Right. Okay, awesome. So how does it work in terms of who gets to be lead agents? Whoever brought the lead in?
Whoever has the relationship, whoever listed the property is the lead, and they take the lead on all the negotiations and the buyer work, but the other agent's there to support them. And I think especially with some of the properties that we're selling, like more higher end homes, mm-hmm. Having 2 agents there at the opens and making sure that, everyone is serviced accordingly is really important.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. I don't see a lot of really high performers sort of teamed up together.
Yeah, I think it's quite unique.
It is unique.
Yeah.
Okay. So your office is one of the best in Brisbane. Mm-hmm. You're surrounded by high performers. I think I've had most people in your office on this podcast.
Yeah.
So when you're surrounded by these people, it obviously pushes you to be better yourself. Mm-hmm. What do you see as like the standout characteristics of a high-performing agent?
We're all very, I guess, bubbly and talkative, and you've got to be upbeat and have a good attitude. We're all highly competitive, but ultimately I think it just comes down to being prepared to do the hard work. So yeah, I mean, I look up to a lot of people in my office. I am highly competitive with them, but I think it's a good, healthy competition because you're always striving to do better and to beat them next quarter, and yeah, it's healthy for business.
I like what you said, that, it's not just hard work, but it's about the attitude. Everyone's bubbly, high energy. So everyone comes into the office not with their head hanging low about the bad market or the the deal that's not quite going right.
Yeah.
They're upbeat.
Yeah.
They're solving problems.
And we're all friends. Like, we're mates, if someone's feeling down or a deal's fallen over, like, I think it's important to bounce your energy off other people and just get back on the horse, So yeah, it's a loud, bubbly office, which I love.
That is really important for any agent out there that is not surrounded by really good people. That's going to give you an extra 20% push. If you are surrounded by that energy, by other people who are pushing themselves, it's going to push you to be better. It's going to give you a better attitude. It's going to uplift you.
Yeah.
So if you're in an office full of sad cases or just, sitting there in the corner on your own all day, you're going to find that it's way harder to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was going to say, even just in my team, like, I remember seeing other teams over the years where if you have a negative leader or a negative team member, it rubs off on everyone. And so if we ever have a really tough week or a tough deal, we're really mindful to pull ourselves out of that and just be positive. If we continue to do the right things and have a really, strong positive mindset, it'll turn around.
That's awesome. So what are you doing in your process, right, because I saw that, customer experience in your profile is something is really important to you. What are you doing to give customers that ultimate experience when they work with you or your team?
So Tegan and Jess that work with me, they are in the office all day, every day. So I think it's really important that if a seller is needing to speak to someone, that there's someone available. Like, it's a massive decision selling a property and it's highly stressful. So Tegan and Jess are always there communicating with them throughout the day, and just being open and making the phone calls, letting them know what's going on. We do reporting every week, phone calls after every inspection, and actually get into detail about the buyers so that they have comfort that you're doing the job. That's obviously really time consuming. So we have processes and templates as well for reporting and things like that. But the entire team knows what they've got to do. And I just think, building that relationship and that rapport so that they're comfortable, they know the team's working for them. And I think if you can give them that, they trust you.
You say your team's in contact with your sellers a lot.
Yes.
I know a lot of people and agents I've spoken to, and they're like, oh, no, I don't let my team contact my sellers.
No. My team contact all my sellers quite regularly. But, I mean, they won't go into detail about buyers or negotiations, but they'll let them know about the opens. They'll let them know about the marketing. We've changed the photo order. We've refreshed the ad copy. We've sent out another e-brochure, whatever it is, to try and give them comfort that, there's more to just making phone calls to buyers. There's a lot of thought that goes into the background of the marketing and the buyer work.
Yeah, and that effective communication is so important. There's no way as a lead agent, if you're running 15, 20 listings, you just can't be giving those up-to-date, little news snippets of what's going on in the campaign all the time.
No.
You have to use your team.
You do.
And that's the sign of an effective leader, is someone who gives that authority to their team members and that trust to do tasks that may look may make the lead agent look bad if it's not done properly.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. You got to trust your team. Otherwise, I mean, you may as well just be doing it all yourself. What's the point? And so every property that we list, we set up a group chat straight away. So either on WhatsApp or iMessage, all the girls are in the chat, the owners are in the chat. We do the same with tenanted properties. So we'll set up a tenant chat, and that way I know if Shannon's spoken to the owner about this. I know if the girls have updated the ad. I know if the photos have been changed because we're getting live updates on that group text.
The WhatsApp chat was truly a game changer for me when I started doing that as an agent, you know, and I only did it in the last sort of 2 years of my selling. But if you're not doing the WhatsApp chat, you got to get on it, right?
Yeah.
The group WhatsApp chat, getting the whole team in there.
Yeah.
It's just the easiest way to talk to the owners all week.
Yeah.
You know, and then they can know about everything.
Yeah.
Right?
And they can ask questions quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, someone will always be available to respond, which is important.
Your profile says you do a fair bit in your local community. Yeah. What sort of things do you do? And do you find that that's a really effective marketing tool for you that gets you some, you know, lead generation?
Yeah, it does. So I got into community involvement more so in the last couple of years. But I think even just like living and working and hanging out with friends in that same community has made a big difference. So I shop at the local IGA, I go to the local gym, I support some of the local schools, all in that little Carina Heights Camp Hill pocket. And yeah, it's been excellent for my business because people talk and I mean, I think I'm about to list my 3rd property from the gym and I've only been there for less than 12 months. So it's definitely starting to pay off.
Wow, because I've talked to agents before and they're like, oh, I hate going down to my local because I'll get stopped by 2 to 3 people and have to talk about the market and they find that a massive drag. And I always think when they say that, mate, that's good.
Yeah, that's where your business is coming from.
That means that what you're doing is working, you're getting known, and then there's always a chance that you know, there's a listing in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, when I walk my dog, most mornings I will run into at least 1 or 2 people that I know. So I think it's an awesome prospecting tool. And yeah, I wouldn't live outside of my core area for that reason.
I do get it though sometimes when you're just like lazy Sunday and you're just getting some milk and you're like, oh, far out.
Do I really have to put makeup on?
Yeah, but guys, go get a fake mustache. It's obvious. Like, you know, there's ways around this.
Yeah.
So what sort of prospecting do you and your team do to, you know, make sure that you're getting enough lead generation?
Yeah. So I am really, really big on prospecting. So we like to have DLs going out in the marketplace at least once a week. So in our core suburbs, around every listing, we're working the buyers to work out, you know, who's got something to sell and really building relationships with the buyers. Like if they're coming through 10 Smith Street and they're not buying that property, well, what else can I sell them? If I don't have the stock to sell them, well, what are my colleagues selling that I can leverage them to? Because if you build that rapport with the buyer and you show them that you're working for them, you're very likely to get their listing to sell. Around every listing as well, just you know, I think they call it the 10-10-20 rule, making sure you're telling all the neighbours the good news. And then I've had really good success over the years with the leftover buyer message as well. So I just sold a 3-bed, 1-bath cottage that looks like this. It sold for X amount. Your home is very similar. I've got a buyer who's really disappointed they missed out. Can I bring them through your home? And yeah.
And that's just a text message out to, you know, other properties which are similar, very simple.
Sometimes it's a message. I try and phone them first. I've set up a lot of tags, like the software that we use is Rex. So I now tag all the homeowners on the streets. And so if I do sell something similar, like I can text blast that whole street instantly and let them know the result, say that I've got leftover buyers, but then I'm phoning them as well.
Okay. And how many phone calls would you make in a given day average? I know it's different. Some days it's none, and some days it's 50. But like,
I'd be trying to, like, I'm busy, like I've got lots of appointments, but I'd be trying to make at least sort of 30 outbound calls a day.
Yeah, okay.
And then obviously the team is working on that as well. So there's a lady in our team named Sophie. She's a 3.0 agent, which means she works under our team banner, so under Mikaela and Shannon, but she can list her own stock. But basically her role is to call around our listings, promote our listings or promote our results and leverage from that. And I guess in exchange for her being able to leverage our properties, we get paid a percentage of her commission to use our team and our training and things like that. So it works really well.
That's another unique setup that you've got.
Yeah.
Your
And it
team's
helps-
just full of unique setups.
Well, it helps, when you're busy as well with opens, having, enough people there to actually do a good job.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the content. Just quickly, if you're interested in knowing what it might look like for you to own your own real estate business and brand, then that's what me and my team do. We help agents to create, run, and grow their own agency and brand so they can earn higher commissions and set up a better life for themselves. If you're interested in what that might look like, just click the link in the show notes and book a call with me or one of my team members, and we'll find out whether or not this is a good fit for you. Now let's get back to the episode. How important is working the buyers?
So important. And I think everyone will start to notice that now that the market is changing. The buyers are not throwing themselves at us at the moment. We are really having to follow up multiple times, making sure that, we're doing all the things that we say that we're going to do. Send the sales packs out, follow up with text messages, call them once a week, twice a week, however many times to get the deal done. So I really think the agents that are not working the buyers are going to start to struggle.
There's heaps of agents out there that think, what's the point? The buyers will just come when I list the next property. Like, I don't need to call them or whatever. Just focus on the potential sellers.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think over the last sort of 5 years, you probably could have got away with that for a period, but I think it's going to change. I am very mindful, though, on making sure that I still put time aside every day to prospect, because the last thing you want is to focus so much on the buyers that you've lost your listing pipeline, and then you'll have a really sporadic business, which is not good.
You mentioned you get a lot of listings from the buyers, though.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like a big source of the listings, or maybe just like...
Yeah, no, it is. So it's mutually beneficial because it's prospecting as well. But you want to make sure that you're still doing, the cold calls and the DL drops and the Instagram posts. Like, Instagram's another way that I get a lot of leads, which wasn't so big a few years ago. I know you've been on socials for quite a while, but I'm getting really disciplined now at video and making sure every property is promoted on Instagram.
And you get people reach out through Instagram?
100%.
Yeah.
I've had seller leads through Instagram. Like, I saw you're selling this one. My house is similar. And I just think you get a lot of just organic growth through people seeing your stuff pop up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do you reckon is the number one listing tool or strategy that your team uses to get listings?
Buyer work.
The buyer work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about that more then. So do you keep like a list of the best buyers, or is just, a property comes on, it's like, oh, just call all the buyers we've got? Or is there just call all the buyers all the time?
Call all the buyers. Like, you're looking up on a Saturday afternoon what everyone owns. I'm giving all my secrets away now, but
it's fine. They won't do it anyway.
So then on Saturday afternoon, we're calling the buyers and we're writing handwritten cards to anyone that owns a property. If they own a property that's really nice and we want it, we have beautiful candles with our branding on it that we're dropping off. Otherwise, we're just dropping a letter with our magnet that says, you have a beautiful home. It was so lovely to meet you. If you're buying or selling, we'd love to connect. And then, just even if we've sold that property 2 weeks later, we want to follow up. Okay, well, have they bought yet? Are they going to be selling soon? Like, I think a lot of agents will sell a property and then that list of 30 buyers just vanishes,
For sure.
Yeah, we keep in constant communication with them. What can we leverage them to? Because we know as soon as we leverage them to something else, the likelihood of them becoming a seller is very likely.
Yeah, and, a lot of agents, they don't realize, but the interview process has already started. If they're in the market to buy, but they're not ready to sell their own property,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting that experience from all the agents when they're buying, which agents are, high energy, calling us back, trying to help us get into the next property.
Trying to help.
Yeah.
A lot of them say that, like, they don't, like, the agents don't care because, oh, well, I've got nothing to sell you, and then they don't call them back.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's like the number one complaint, about the customer service is I didn't get a call back, or I got one call and then I said I wasn't interested, never heard from that agent again. And another one is, buyers buy a property and then they never hear from the agent again. That's even more crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's very slack.
It's so slack, and it's the easiest future listing that you can have is just keep in touch with your buyers who've bought your own properties.
Yeah,
you know?
and you've built a relationship with them through the negotiation anyway. So, pick up the phone and say hello.
Once a year.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Have a 5-minute conversation, drop around once a year and give them an update, drop them around a bottle of wine. That listing's yours when it comes back. But so many agents don't do it because all they're thinking is like, who's listing next? Who's listing next?
Yeah.
Trying to chase the
low-hanging fruit, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, my business is a little bit of low-hanging fruit, but I've started to notice in the last 12 months, like people calling me saying, oh, we met you at an open home 5 years ago and you followed up when you said you would. You were super friendly. And yeah, we see you doing stuff in the community and we'd love to list with you. And I think, oh my God, like it's amazing that they remember you.
Here's the thing with the low-hanging fruit. Everyone's got some low-hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Every business has low-hanging fruit. But if you just concentrate on the higher hanging fruit, the stuff that is going, you don't know when it's going to drop. You don't know if you're ever going to get business. You don't know if you're ever going to have a bite of that tasty fruit sitting at the top of that tree. If you only focus on that fruit, you will do better than anyone else because you're going to get the low-hanging fruit anyway, right? But those who are just excited, just looking for that low-hanging fruit, they're not doing any of the work that's going to bring them that long-term, high-value,
juicy fruit.
And you get more low-hanging fruit if you can get more of the high-hanging fruit.
Absolutely.
Because while you're climbing the tree to grab the high-hanging fruit, you're knocking off all the low-hanging fruit.
I love that.
I just added that bit on myself.
Yeah,
all right.
could
Write
tell.
that down.
Yeah.
Put that in your notes. Yeah, cool. So if you started again as an agent, because your journey's a bit different to most, like you were as a sort of a team member, associate, co-agent, assistant, whatever, mixture of all those things for 8 years before you went out on your own.
Yeah.
Right. So you've seen a lot, learned a lot, and that's probably why you're just like quickly very successful when you're out on your own. Right. I think the best way to become an agent is to first be part of a team.
I agree.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You get thrown out there in the deep end.
You got no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, you're learning from nothing with no mentorship, no support. It's very difficult, especially as a young person. But you're on a team for a long time. You probably didn't think you were going to be an agent for a long time in there. You were sort of maybe happy of where you...
I was happy, but I was toying with the idea. I was just scared.
Yeah, okay.
And didn't have that backing myself sort of mindset. And then, I just pulled the Band-Aid off one day and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
But I think I did my apprenticeship,
Oh, you 100% did your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I think you did your apprenticeship times 2.
Yeah,
right?
I think so too.
But if you could, I guess, if you started again, this is probably a question for, an agent who wasn't in a team for so long. But if you could give agents any advice, if they're starting from zero or an agent starting in a new area, right? Where would you start? What would you do for your first 12 months?
Pick a suburb to focus on, like pick one area. I remember even when I first started like prospecting really hard for the agent I was working for, I was scatterbrained, like just all over the shop. But it was when I started focusing on one specific area that's when you start to get traction because that little pocket will know you so well. I would have got involved with the community earlier. And I do think learning from experienced agents is a smart thing to do because it's really hard and it probably takes like 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years to actually get a name or a reputation in your core area. You need to keep repeating the message over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to have that resilience. You've got to understand that this is a long game. No one finds success in real estate in 6 months.
No way.
No one does unless you're the son of daddy who owns the business and gets all the rent roll leads. That's the only way, right?
Yeah.
And, not many people have that opportunity. Last question I want to focus on. When you're in a high pressure job, like real estate is very high pressure, high stress, high anxiety when you're at the top of your game, when you're managing 10 to 15 listings at a time, especially when the market starts to turn and sellers aren't getting their price and they're blaming you and, you know, they're getting angry and buyers are getting frustrated because sellers aren't taking their good offers and things like that.
Sounds very morbid.
It does. Well, it's an emotional roller coaster and, you know, our job looks easy from the outside, but mentally it can be very challenging. So what do you do to keep yourself mentally grounded in this job under pressure?
Yeah. So surround yourself with good people and people that will pull you out of the rut, you know, if you are getting in a negative mindset. Exercise and sleep is really important. I guess
that's yeah, we all know that. But tell me, like, how much are you exercising? How much are you sleeping?
Oh, really? I could sleep more, definitely. Exercise every single day.
So you're a daily exerciser.
Yeah, I've got a cattle dog, so I walk my cattle dog every morning. Go to the gym, and I used to not put so much emphasis on that, but in the last 12 months, it's been pretty much my only sanity. I think it is important to find time to actually be with your family and your friends as well. I need to be better at booking in little holidays because I definitely have felt in the last 12 months the burnout. But yeah, exercise, sleep, family and friends, eating well. I don't know. Self-development. I've got about 50 books on my bedside table that I never read, but I intend to read them at some stage. I could be better.
It's the thought that counts, right?
They're awesome looking books.
At least you've read the front cover and probably the back blurb, and you've gone, that is a book that I'm definitely going to read one day.
Yes.
So I'll get that from my library.
Podcasts, music, that, it just settles you, you know.
What's your favourite podcast? Oh, the Get Keen podcast, of course. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, that's all we got time for. That has been absolutely insightful. Mikaela Crone, you're an absolute superstar. I can see you being, you know, one of the best agents in Brisbane in a couple of years' time. After only 12 months out there on her own doing this amount of transactions, it shows what a capable agent she is, and how much value she's bringing to her clients and community. So, guys, if you really like this episode, can you drop me a like or a comment? Maybe share this with someone who you think that would find some value in this episode. I make all this content for free to help you become a better agent or business owner. So anything you can do to help me out, that'd be great. Love you to bits. See you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning into the Get Keen podcast. If today's episode got you thinking about starting your own real estate business and building your own brand, Plum Partners may be able to help. Book a call using the link in the show notes, and let's see if we're the right fit to help you create, run, and grow your own real estate brand. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on Instagram at Dan_Lee_Plum. Until next time, keep getting keen.